Thank you very much. 6:31 new this morning, a perfect storm. Quincy's director of public works says a combination of staffing issues and a rough year for trees and potholes have combined to make it harder to clean up and keep driving smooth around the city. WGEM's Ryan Hill is live for us this morning in Quincy with details on the situation and the plan to fix it. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning. Now, Quincy's Director of Public Works, Jeffrey Conti, says that the city faced a staffing shortage of workers that address those nuisances, such as potholes and downed limbs. Now, he says that followed after losing several employees due to retirements and people leaving for other jobs, leaving them facing a perfect storm of heavier load and a much lighter staff. But despite the delayed response over the first couple of months of the summer, Conti says their staffing problems have now been addressed. He says staffing is a juggling act, as it's important to balance spending and the service provided.
Obviously, we could add a bunch of people to fix problems immediately, but somebody's going to have to pay for that, and people don't want that. So we're trying to juggle, find that line between, what's acceptable response time and keep the taxes as low as possible.
Connie says crews have seen more issues with trees this year, dropping more limbs than usual during this year's storms. He suspects that might be due to the drought we saw last year. He says much of their work, especially around lawns, is very dependent on the weather. The backlog for lawn waxes and wanes, but largely depends on rain, which has been worse in recent years. He says, however, in the last week or so, they've managed to make a dent out of those backlogs. Live in Quincy, Ryan Hill, WGEM News.
Ryan, thank you. Conti is now working on a report for this situation as requested by Quincy City Alderman. He says the solution to the backlog problem will be revealed by the data it will provide.